What was the next match, young Anthony?
Was I hate this name so much, but Madcap Moss.
Oh yeah.
Taking on the former two-time WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, who was second match of the night.
Interesting, isn't it? I thought that at the time, and I, although as much as I can't really handle that character, he's not bad.
He's a good worker, the old man.
He's a good worker, like he's really, really built. I mean, see the bloody arms on him?
But also, too, every dive he took or throw he took, his ability to snap his bump early made him look like he was going to head first. And that running into the turnbuckle head first. I mean, he's not a handsome man, and now we know why. You know, he's taking shots like that to the face. But I'll tell you what, it was impressive.
I never took shots to the face, and I still can't be.
No, you're a very handsome man.
Oh,
you're a very handsome man. You know that, Pete. You know that. You only bait me in to say something. That's
no, you need to get your eyes tested, seriously. Great face for radio.
Me too. So, the Madcap thing is another WWE just terrible booking. I don't know who was sitting there. I explained to Anthony what Madcap meant.
Yeah.
Right? Madcap is another version of Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
And the Mad Hatter was the old hatters back in the turn of the century, the 1900s, would use mercury to stiffen the edges of hats out. Right? And they'd get the mercury in their blood system and would send them crazy.
Ah.
Right? So Madcap is another nickname for Mad Hatter, which is for a crazy person.
Ah.
Right? But Madcap Moss as a character is terrible.
Yeah.
This is a guy that can really work.
Yeah.
I don't understand who the hell is coming up with these names. You know? Has Vince been working with Mercury at some time? I don't know. Maybe he's the Mad Hatter. I don't know.
But it probably is now, but yeah, Drew. I think actually Anthony's point was good. You know, Drew McIntyre second match.
I think you might find Drew now that this is what I think is going to happen, and in fact, this is my reading of it. I reckon the Big E Lesnar match will happen, and it will be over pretty quick for Big E. His run will be over pretty quick. Yeah. Which is a shame because Big E is everything what the WWE is into. Colourful, cartoon character like, you know, but I think that whatever happened, I think Lesnar's basically walked and said, I want that belt. And gone, yeah, okay, you can have it. But the big money for Raw is actually Lashley and Lesnar.
Oh, shit, yeah.
That's the big money.
Absolutely.
So I can see that running to just before WrestleMania. I would go after WrestleMania. I'd have it blow off at WrestleMania.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right, that's your money match there.
Oh, yeah.
And you build Reigns. You got Reigns now versus McIntyre. You can move towards that. Yeah, you can move towards that.
But interestingly enough, on Raw on Monday night or Tuesday our time, at the very, very end, Lesnar said when he was getting interviewed, "Tell Roman Reigns I'll see him on Friday."
Yeah, yeah.
So,
if you look at it, money, you would say to Lesnar, and if you have a look at the way that match ended, the Hurt Lock, the spear, really. There was nothing that Lesnar did to Lashley that was offensive.
No, not at all.
No, he actually got saved from the Hurt Lock.
Yeah.
He got saved, right, by Big E. So, to me, it looked like the way they were setting that match up to be that, well, basically Lashley can beat him. Lashley's got his number. I reckon that's a setup, and that's where the money is, because that's been something for at least 15 years people have wanted to see. Them to go at each other.
The Royal Rumble, as you know.
Well, I wouldn't finish it there.
No, but that's where it's going. But I'm wondering, though, if it gets to a point, and again, depending how it goes, but if you could get Lesnar and Roman Reigns, either champ versus champ, or if you win, you get both belts or whatever, because they can't actually maybe they can't get The Rock versus Reigns.
I don't think they're going to get The Rock.
No, that's why I'm thinking, are they going to go Lesnar Reigns?
Lesnar Reigns, yeah, but you know, the problem with belt versus belt, someone's going to look like an absolute dick loser. You know, at the end of it, and they're the two strongest They're the two.
Yeah.
If it was Big E Reigns, then you go, okay, fair enough. We can sacrifice Big E.
Yes.
You know, no offense to Big E.
No. But you can't sacrifice the other two.
Right. Yeah. Right. So who's a loser on that match? I mean, the old days, it'd end up in a DQ count out,
double count
doctor stoppage, something like that. You know, something along those lines. I don't seem to look at that. But the way you'd want to finish that match is there's no loser.
Well, bearing in mind WrestleMania is 2 nights again.
Yeah, you're going to bury someone. Yeah,
but do you have on night 1 Reigns versus somebody and wins, and Lesnar versus Lashley and wins, or somehow wins, and then somehow they square off on night 2 or something, or you don't know.
They're still a loser.
Yeah,
they're still a loser. At this point, they can't afford a loser. You know, they can afford to maybe have Rollins, Owens, Big E, McIntyre. I wouldn't put Lashley in that point, because I think Lashley's probably a further top guy.
Yeah.
Right? But those guys, you could probably job out against them and not hurt their run.
No.
You know? Happy Corbin, guys like that have got a bit of size. You can probably job them out and not hurt their run. But if you job out either Lashley, Lesnar, or Reigns to each one of each other, right, clean, right, it's going to hurt their run. It's going to hurt it. And financially, it's going to hurt it for the company. I'm not talking about them personally. I'm talking about ticket sales. At the moment, they can't draw 3,000 people at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
So they can't afford to lose anyone that's a name, that's a potential table setter, a draw. So I think the way that they'll book it, you are right. I think that they will probably have Lesnar versus Reigns, because I don't think anyone's got the long distance foresight to say, all right, where do we go from the end of that? You know, I think that WWE's booking will.
Very interesting also to note that Goldberg came out during the week and said he's only got 1 match left on his contract.
So it could be him versus Reigns.
And he said that will be his last match. That's it. He won't be working again after it.
You can afford him to lose against Reigns.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and only puts Reigns over.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Lashley. I mean, if either one of those two guys lose to each other and the belt goes, it's only going to raise the other guy up.
Yes.
You know, so it's there's no loss there, and if the other guy that loses to him is not a big loss, you know, he can come back from that.
Yeah.
But if you lose out to, especially champion versus champion, somebody walks out losing the belt and losing everything, makes them look pretty bad.
Do you think they might look at some sort? Well, they probably wouldn't, but some sort of unification?
Yeah. Once again, if somebody looks. One of those two guys look like a stooge. Whoever loses it.
Yeah, well, we've probably jumped ahead talking about that one. Yeah. We're talking about Drew, but
well, I think Drew is in there, but I don't think he's at that level. I think I could see him working Roman Reigns. Madcap, waste of a great talent.
Yeah.
For me, I think he's got. Oh, I'd actually seen him work before. I thought this is an impressive dude. He didn't look like out of place at all.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
You know, put this guy in a pair of trunks and tell him to wrestle like a badass, and he'd be a badass. And he's a heel. He's that head of his, mate. It looks hard. So he's got a perfect face to be a heel. What do you reckon, Anthony?
As I said, you've had McIntyre as champion. You've pretty much put him into second match of the night. For what reason, though?
Yeah, but you got to look at it this way. He's on the card, right? He had a decent win against a good performer, right? And it's keeping his stock there. This is the way I look at it. You know, there's an old saying, they can't love you if you don't go away.
Yeah.
So if you call somebody off in wrestling, you do want to stick him in opening and second matches in and cool them down, and then give them a run again, because you can't keep somebody at the top forever. It's impossible. It's an impossible thing to try and pull off. You know, look at nobody. Hogan, Flair, all these guys had a 5 or 6 year run and then then stepped back, went cold, and come back at it again. You know, Dusty Rhodes, all of them did it. You know, so I sort of like, I still think McIntyre's in there. I know, agree 100% what you're saying about he was a champion, 2-time WWE, and now he's opening up second matches against Madcap. But when you look at the big picture of it, I'm thinking, you know, if you were looking after him on booking, it's probably a good way to go. Because you're keeping him in the mix, but you're not highlighting him too much.
So how did we score that match?
I think I gave it a 6, I think.
I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 4.
Okay.